right, we will now proceed with the Memorandum of Agreement signing between Binary University Malaysia and Emirates Institute for Banking and Financial Studies. Datuk Professor Joseph Adai Kalam, the Executive Chairman of Binary University, to say a few words.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Today we have signed a Memorandum of Understanding between Binary University Malaysia and the Emirates Institute of Finance and Banking Studies. The main objective of this MOU is to bring higher education opportunities at postgraduate level to Dubai to open up for the Middle East market. And one of the key areas that we will be focusing on the next 12 months is the offering of the world's first Islamic finance qualification, which embeds professional certification within that program. The target audience for this Islamic banking and finance program are working professionals in the Middle East, in the banking sector, primarily those who are in the conventional banking and want to now become professionals in Islamic banking and finance areas. Secondly, also to use Dubai as an education hub to bring in those individuals who would have easier access to higher education through Dubai, given that Dubai is also emerging as an education hub. As all of you know, Malaysia is in the top 11 in the world as an education hub. Binary has been in this industry for more than 30 years. We are a very niche market player and we are present globally. We are in not only in Malaysia, but also we are in Central Asia, in Africa, in Middle East, and of course now we are into Dubai. So as I mentioned, the MOU covers a range of postgraduate programs, primarily targeted at working adults, working professionals, but in specific, it is focused on delivering the Islamic banking and finance qualification at a master's and PhD level in Dubai. The second point I want to make is the point where I've stressed that it is the world's first qualification that embeds professional certification. When you saw me coming up just now for the witness of the MOU exchange, you noticed that there were three parties. There was the Emirate Institute of Finance and Banking, there was a Binary University, and there was a third-party gentleman who was here. He is the CEO of the IFFIM, which is the professional certification body of Malaysia, which comes under the purview of the Central Bank of Malaysia. So what we are bringing to Dubai is not just another postgraduate program in Islamic banking and finance. I think you have a number of MBA programs, other types of programs, which do offer the opportunity for working professionals and others to study Islamic banking and finance. What we are doing here is bringing practitioners. We're bringing in actual practitioners from the industry, the Islamic banking and finance industry, to come over to Dubai and deliver these programs. In other words, it's practical-oriented programs, it's industry-relevant programs and knowledge and skills which will be delivered by actual practitioners in the Islamic banking and finance industry of Malaysia, sharing that, and as the theme goes today, is the innovative partnership. Yeah? So that's what this partnership is all about. It's a very innovative partnership, bringing academia, the industry, and also our local partner here to co-deliver with us for the Middle East market in particular. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Datuk Professor Joseph Adai Kalam. Now I would like to hear from Mr. Jamal Ahmad Al-Ajazmi, the General Manager, Emirates Institute for Banking and Financial Studies. Sir, if you may.
It's our pleasure to be here, and I think our cooperation with the Binary University in UAE, it will add a lot of Islamic banking studies, especially BFS are in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Sharjah. And we are serving all the banking sector. So I believe this certificate and education, especially as Dubai become or planning to become capital of Islamic banking. So I think this will add a lot for our programs, and I hope our cooperation will have very good results, inshallah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jamal Ahmad Al-Jazmi. We will now proceed with the MOA signing between Binary University Malaysia and Emirates Institute for Banking and Financial Studies. I'm not sure if Dr. Adnan is here to witness the memorandum of agreement between Binary University Malaysia as well as Emirates Institute for Banking and Financial Studies.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to. Yeah. Dr. Adnan is not here, sorry.
He's not here? Okay, no worries.
Huh? Is he outside?
Do you want him to come in for the, at least he's there for the photo op?
Left him there.
Let's see if he's just outside. We'll just wait a while.
Yes, I think he needs. I got a pen. Okay, I think we just need to act it up.
Big round of applause. The memorandum of agreement signing between Binary University Malaysia and Emirates Institute for Banking and Financial Studies has successfully been conducted. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much, gentlemen. With that, this concludes the MOA signing between Binary University Malaysia and Emirates Institute for Banking and Financial Studies. All the best, gentlemen. Thank you. Now, members of the media, if you are still here, we will be starting with another final press conference that will take place, and this will be handed over to my colleagues from PWC. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're going to launch our PWC Islamic Finance Survey. I'm not sure if there's any media in here, but if you are, thank you for coming and joining us today. Our Islamic Finance Survey today, we've conducted it across the Middle East region, across the GCC countries, to give insight to Islamic banks and help them basically in building their strategies to compete and differentiate and grow. I'm going to introduce our Islamic finance partner, Ashraf Jamal, who leads our global Islamic practice. Prateeth as well, partner for our consulting financial services, and Salman Jeffrey, he's a director in our financial services practice. Ashraf will start with sharing the results of the survey.
Thank you, Dalia. Hi, good evening. The survey that Dalia was talking about is something that we as PwC considered in terms of the otherwise press coverage on the growth of the Islamic finance market and the various Islamic products. I think there was sort of insufficient coverage in terms of what actually was it that the customer wanted, or the voice of the customer. I mean, we've heard about the growth by 17% in the market, and the couple of $1 trillion that are now under sort of Islamic Sharia compliant financing, which still actually accounts for only a fraction of the total global conventional assets or conventional assets that are in the market. So, we thought we'd sort of go and conduct this survey in terms of what was it that was trending with the customers, what was it that was actually concerning them, or the issues that they had. And the findings that came up from that survey were quite sort of, they were quite interesting. And also, I'll take you through those in the next couple of slides. Is that, yeah? So perhaps the most interesting finding that came out from the survey was, the values that drive decisions. So approximately half the respondents in the survey actually were of the impression that perhaps Islamic financial institutions were not, or perceived to be not conducting their business according to Sharia values, whilst they might have been, but I mean, this is the perception that the respondents had. So again, there's an opportunity there or a message to the Islamic banks to actually reinforce the fact that they are actually complying and conducting business in accordance with the Sharia, which will not only reinforce values with their existing customer base or reinforce that message, but also get more people or more Muslims to actually get into Islamic banking. So that was quite an interesting theme that came out of the survey that we conducted, this sort of perception gap. The other very interesting trend was the rise of the silver economy. So whilst we conducted the survey across various age groups, we found that the older people grew, the more they were actually attuned towards conventional banking. Although being more aware of religious values, they were more sort of biased towards conventional banking than to Islamic banking. So I think, again, there the message for Islamic banks is to actually focus on the younger population in terms of targeting them into Islamic banking, so they tend to stay with Islamic banks as they move on. And there's a big silver economy out there in terms of the potential, again, for Islamic banks, to get their growth potential. So that was the second one. The other findings in terms of service level improvements, again, given the size of Islamic banks relative to their conventional counterparts, they tend to be more sort of smaller in their own home markets, unlike international conventional banks that are probably more efficient, more cost effective. So I think, again, for Islamic banks to up the ante to improve their service levels would again go a long way in moving business from conventional bank users to the Islamic banking system, and even Muslim customers getting in. So service level improvement was again quite an important message that came out. Again, the focus on digital banking. A lot of the respondents want more out of Islamic banks in terms of online, mobile banking, rather than the traditional branches, which obviously are more expensive, more investment, and they felt that the Islamic banks could actually leapfrog into that particular dimension to actually grow their global footprint as well, which is one of the other findings that came out relative to the larger international conventional banks. So again, going digital, using online mobile banking was another message that was quite importantly heard from the survey that we conducted. We then also focused on what women wanted. And interestingly, whilst they preferred or they liked the concept of women-only branches, a lot of them don't tend to actually physically go to those branches. And they themselves, again, expressed an interest in increasing online and mobile banking platforms. So I think that resonates well with the earlier finding that you would also have the other thing was that, women tend far lesser to switch banks than men do. So there's a sense of loyalty there that you have with the women customer base. And it serves that other dual purpose of going digital to not only attract other customers, but to actually retain, a loyal women customer base. So that was on the angle of women. And I think in summary, those are the major findings that came out from the survey that we conducted. The methodology, I think Dalia has already gone through at the introduction of it. So I don't know whether my colleagues want to add anything to this or...
Just a couple of points, Ashraf, to add to that. There is going to be a huge growth in the population as far as the Muslim countries are concerned. And given that potential growth that is going to happen along with what we would call it as a lower level of penetration of Islamic banking, currently, we do believe that there is a massive opportunity over here for Islamic banks to essentially go on a faith-based system and increase their share in the marketplace. Like Ashraf said, we still have a situation where there is 50% penetration which has happened. The other 50% still needs to be done. We can increase our service levels. There is the technology that is now available to essentially allow those service levels to be better managed and give the customers the access. There is no reason why the Islamic banking penetration and the growth cannot go beyond what we've been essentially talking about. So I think there is a bit of time over here for some of the banks to sit and take a deep breath, pause, and see why is it that the customers are saying that the service levels along with the perception is an issue. But there is also a huge upside potential over here that if they get this right, there is this huge opportunity which they can actually then look at and then really deliver and benefit from that. And as we've seen throughout the day in the conference, there are some massive opportunities in the emerging markets, in the Muslim countries, and in the other non-Muslim countries as well, where the emergence of Islamic finance is happening, and there is no reason a further penetration can be dealt. Happy to take questions if there are any from anyone. Salman wants to add. Salman, you want to add something? Sorry.
Yeah, just one or two quick observations. The fact that the delegate base in this conference is exceptionally global is an indication of the potential reach for Islamic banking. And making money for banks in general today, conventional or Islamic, is a lot harder. So the idea of competing for those customers in markets where growth is tough is exceptionally important for all banks. And we think that Islamic banks have a very, very unique opportunity. The fact that Muslims or Muslim customers appear to be more loyal for a variety of reasons, including, of course, faith, gives Islamic banks a very good platform. And the question now is, can they continue to innovate in areas of service, digital, and particular segments to take advantage of it? The upside of doing so, as Ashraf has pointed out, in terms of market penetration, is quite significant. And so we look at it, we're quite bullish on prospects. The ability to leapfrog without that much investment is there, so long as customer needs are met.
And that's a good one. And Salman, you may want to just expand a bit more on the customer experience, because that's where we found that there were a few of these areas of improvement.
Yeah, I mean, PWC as a whole, our practice, we've seen this with all of our clients, Islamic and conventional, which is, particularly on the retail side, the last area of extreme competition for share of wallet is happening in this area of customer experience, which, to make a long story short, refers to the entire experience that a customer has from the moment they come into the door and to the moment in which they transact, and the value of keeping them. There is significant dollar value, there's significant monetary value in keeping those customers within your bank and increasing share of wallet. And we have insights from the research that talk specifically about what differences different segments within the population require.
Hi. Could you just underline what you think Islamic banks need to be doing to actually increase their share in the market, please?
Well, I think exactly that in terms of converting what's come out from the findings of the survey that we conducted. So, reinforcing, remessaging adherence to Sharia values, focusing on the younger population in terms of actually getting them to get into Islamic banking at that stage, again, improving service levels, focusing on the loyalty factor. So I think just converting or addressing the findings that came out automatically can convert themselves into fairly sizable opportunities, not only for a growing Muslim population, but also for a non-Muslim population to actually bank with them.
So I guess, in a nutshell, it's got to be retain your existing customers, service them very well, but at the same time, do not lose sight that there is this growing population and a growing market, and therefore attract the new ones as well, with the increased benefits and, as Salman says, innovation, along with the higher service levels. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If there are no more questions.
I mean, if there are any questions in the future, feel free to give us a call or contact us. So we'd be happy to address them. Yeah. Thank you.